back to another video, and in today's video for day 6 of our December marathon, we have a trade video. Today we will both present 5 trades each for between WWE and AEW talent, and yeah, I guess we'll kind of decide if who's behalf we would accept it on, and yeah, let us know down in the comments below how you guys, if you guys would accept these trades, and let us know some of your trades down in the comments as well. But yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool video. We've done this before now, but it's been a while, so now we're going to do it again.
Yeah, let's kick things off with your first one.
So for my first one, I have a pretty simple one, nothing too crazy. It's going to be a pretty simple one of Saquon Sugars for Hook. I feel like, you know, Hook, they gave him a lot of things to do, and they're it's not that it hasn't worked, but it hasn't worked either. So he's somewhere in that middle, and Saquon Sugar is someone who I feel like his style would just work more in AEW. Someone who's like a kind of loud character, but is also really good in ring, if given a chance at least. And yeah, I feel like both sides would benefit from this one.
Alright, I like that one. For my first one, I have kind of a headline for each one of these, but my first one I'm going to start off with is going to be the Young OG for the Old Heads. So this is going to be a multi-person trade, and this is going to be WWE sending out Javon Evans, Charlie Dempsey, and Tavion Heights in return for Edge, Christian, Jericho, and Private Party, and Hook. Now, obviously, Javon Evans is a very valuable asset to WWE, so they're going to want some big names, and obviously, I give them Private Party and Hook. That's 3 names that you can add to the NXT roster, but you also get 3 huge old guys who are, you know, considered a lot of retirement matches and a lot of last matches for these guys. So, yeah, it'd be kind of interesting. I think it's definitely a lot of value for both sides.
Yeah, for sure. Big team trade there. But going on to my second one now, I'm going to go on to the tag team division, and that will be Private Party for DIY. Kind of the same thing as I mentioned in my last trade. I feel like Private Party just hasn't really worked out. It's been kind of unfortunate timing for them, as soon as they did win gold and kind of beat the Bucks and everything. The Hurt Syndicate came in and kind of took all the kind of fame or whatever away from them, from everyone. So yeah, they'd be really better off in WWE, and DIY is one of those great tag teams you can kind of throw anywhere and they'll be an amazing tag team, or singles competitors even. So yeah, be beneficial for both sides once again. Maybe WWE gets the better side just because they're so much younger, but you know, they're still very talented in DIY as well.
I like that. For my next one, I'm going to go with one that would have AJ Styles having his retirement tour in AEW. Now, AEW is going to get AJ Styles and Austin Theory in return for Buddy Matthews, Wardlow, Sammy Guevara, and Nick Wayne. Some young talent mixed in with some guys that WWE I think would very much like to have. That being Wardlow, I think that's somebody who would fit very nicely in WWE, and probably his style as well just fits better. As long as Buddy Matthews, somebody who I think now that they see what he's able to do, I think they would like to kind of try that again and see where they can take him now.
Yeah, and even Sammy Guevara in NXT with a Javon Evans and a Leon Slater to bounce off of and stuff would be very cool. But now for my third one, we're going to kick things up a little bit, and we're going to go Gunther for Jon Moxley. Obviously, Moxley is AEW's kind of #1 guy right now, with Kenny being out, with Ospreay being out, Swerve just kind of came back and everything. So yeah, Moxley has been that #1. They kind of, I feel like it was supposed to be Hangman Adam Page, but I never truly felt like he kind of took the throne from Moxley. So it's a big one for them. And then Gunther, he's just younger, better, arguably, kind of depending on which way you look at it. And he's Gunther. You know, he's had so many dream matches that you could put upon in AEW. Imagine a Gunther and Kenny, a Gunther and Ospreay, a Swerve. There's so many people who you could throw him up against in AEW. So I feel like both sides, once again, benefit greatly from doing this trade.
Yeah, you mentioned your Gunther trade. I have my Gunther trade, and that's going to be for MJF. 2 of the biggest villains in their respective company going swapping sides. I think MJF is the biggest question is, would his style work in WWE? Obviously, he's a little bit more edgier, a little bit more crazier, so who knows if he'll have to kind of tone it down a little bit for the WWE style. But also Gunther into AEW, I think it would be amazing, like you mentioned, all the matches with Ospreay, Kevin Knight, Speedballs, Kenny's, Young Bucks. Who knows how many phenomenal 5-star matches you would get out of Gunther in AEW.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that same way around the other way as well, of course. You could revisit that CM Punk and MJF. You could do Cody, MJ. There's so many cool things that you would be able to do with MJF on the WWE side of things as well. But now we're moving on to the final two, and these last two are obviously going to be the big ones, the big dogs. Not that Mox wasn't, but yeah, we're gonna go with what you said. You did my Gunther trade. Now I'm gonna do your MJF trade. So I have MJF going to the WWE in return for Drew McIntyre and Julia. Now, obviously, I added a 2-for-1 here because I feel like MJF is a little bit more popular. He's definitely younger. And, yeah, I feel like Julia isn't really that highly sought after in WWE at the moment. Her stocks are pretty low at the moment. And Drew McIntyre, you could kind of argue his stocks are kind of low right now, too, after losing to Cody Rhodes so many times and The Punk and Damian Priest. So, yeah, a lot of crazy things going on there. But I do think MJF to WWE and Drew and Julia to AEW be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think from this video, it's kind of the craziest question is like, what would trades look like in real life? And, what would be the real value? Like an MJF, somebody who is a homegrown talent from AEW, so they'd probably want a lot if they did lose them. So, yeah, I think Drew McIntyre is pretty fair. And with Julia, I still don't know if they'd probably take it, but it would be definitely one to think about for sure.
No.
For my next one, you had Mox, and I'll do a Mox one. And this is going to be Mox going back to WWE, so we can finally get that Shield triple threat. He's going to go to WWE as long as with Jay White, Bang Bang Gang, The Guns, Juice Robinson, and Ace Austin for Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. So WWE gets a lot more people coming in to the company, but it's some pretty big names are losing. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, pretty much the workhorses kind of the Raws and the SmackDowns for the past few years. Yeah, I think it's kind of even. I think the stakes of what Kevin Owens and Sami is worth might not equal to all members of Bang Bang Gang, but I think it would be something that it would be really interesting to see all three of them in AEW as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be fair because, obviously maybe WWE would get the better side of it as far as, how long you'll be able to use the talent. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Sami are better, but they also sell a lot more merch and things of that nature as well, so they'll move, the things upward for AEW in that terms of things as well. But my final one is going to be a Mercedes Moné trade. Now this one I have, obviously AEW in theory in a world where they're doing a trade, they would probably want some young people back because, Mercedes is a top end talent. There's no real match in that really. Like you could do a 1-for-1, but it wouldn't really, fit what they want, I feel like. So I went with two young people, and that is Lyra Valkyria and Carmelo Hayes. So we're getting Lyra and Melo for Mercedes Moné. Obviously, Lyra and Melo are just very, very good, very, very young. And Mercedes is very good and not so young. So it's kind of like, I guess AEW has a project build with both of them to kind of build them up to where they need to be because they're not there yet. But at the same time, their peak could be very, very high.
Yeah, I could see Carmelo going to AEW and kind of having like a Kyle Fletcher-like run where, he's somebody who has all the talent there. It takes just a matter of one moment and one opportunity where that person makes the most of it and then go on to be, a top heel in your company. So, yeah, I think Carmelo would look very nice. Lyra, I think, would be very interesting as well. And it'll be kind of interesting because, obviously Mercedes is the biggest star in women's wrestling in AEW, so it'd be a lot of value kind of being sent off, but yeah, really interesting one for sure. You had a Mercedes one to finish it off. I guess I'll give mine as well to cap it off. For me, it would be Bayley and Mercedes reuniting in AEW. So it would be Bayley and Kalani Jordan in return for Thekla, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, and Anna Jay. So the Triangle of Madness and Anna Jay. Again, a lot of young women there. Sky Blue, Julia, and Anna Jay, all under 30 years old. And Thekla, somebody who I think is still early 30s, but is somebody who's a rising star among women's wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be crazy. That's obviously a big speculation is which one of the two is going to go because it just feels like it's going to happen with Bayley and Mercedes at some point in their career. They're going to reunite on the same company, same brand, whatever it may be. So just a matter of where will that be. But yeah, very interesting trade for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that is our trades that we all brought today. Let us know what you guys would do in these scenarios. Would you accept it on behalf of AEW or WWE? And let us know some of them as well down in the comments below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember, this is part of our December marathon, so make sure to leave a like and put the notifications on so when we upload every day, you'll be notified. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.